She was actually she was the first woman I ever heard call somebody an SOB. And she meant it. Steve's kind of cleaned the family up a little bit since then, but Friday, I had no idea. I've been a member of Tiger Bay since 1976. They actually have a funny committee that meets Friday. Jeff Henry, Chris, Jeff Ryan, Steve Berkman, Lori, Kane was there, Ed Moore. So, I mean, there's a whole committee that comes up with this crap you hear every day. It's not Chris's fault. She's got a lot of help. Believe it or not. Steve has turned into a pretty good candidate, believe it or not. I was surprised because he was my cousin. I tend to fall on the side of letting you know what's entirely on my mind, and some of that sometimes not very well. But Steve turned into a pretty good candidate. First time, almost exactly a year ago, I asked him to come over to visit us at the Republican Club after he had announced. And he came over with one of those, those 2-day beards guys have going. I never have figured out. I never have seen like a 2-day razor, but I emailed him after it was over. I said, Steve, one cousin to the next. There's only 2 people that ever got away with that. It was Jesus, and that didn't turn out so well for him. And Don Johnson, and you don't look like Don Johnson, so he emailed me back from my clean-shaven cousin. But Steve is a small businessman in Panama City. They're in the same business. He and his family are in the granite business, and I don't mean the upright, but the table tiles and stuff like that. Also in the tree farming business. Actually, he and Alan Boyd have a couple things in common. They're both in the sod business. Ours are more in the subterranean factor. When this campaign got started, his slogan or theme or whatever you want to call it is, "I've had enough." We kicked around several ideas, not the least of which, since Steve Sullivan to Congress, he'll be the last congressman to let you down. We thought that was a little shocking. Please welcome my cousin Steve Sullivan. Thank you.
Well, I tell you, you ought to go to the family reunions. Oh my word. By the way, if I do let you down, it will only be 6 feet. Okay. Anyway, all right. I tell you, it's great to be here. I have heard a lot of great things about your organization, and Rocky for the last year has told me much, and he said the introductions are especially colorful, and so be prepared to be picked on a little bit. I said, that's fine, Rocky. I said, if of course you look at our brochure, you can see that I'm surrounded by 5 women. So I'm used to being picked on. When you live with Susan and I, we have 4 daughters. And I'll tell you, if it weren't for Bandit, my yellow lab, oh man. Bandit and I take a walk every night, and it's been difficult during the campaign, but we go out and we go out to the front driveway, and I say, Bandit, we're going to go this way or we're going to go this way, and that is just about the only decision made by a man at 900 Christiana Drive. So Susan and I are very, very blessed. And it's a great honor to be with you today. I see a lot of familiar faces over the last year. We have worked extremely hard, and I want to thank Rocky and the rest of our family because we've renewed old family relationships, and it's been a great experience. I'm here today, and I feel in many ways that I don't know how many of you are familiar with the old Austin Powers movie, but I promise you that I am not Dr. Evil. So I know I've been portrayed as that, and in the ads, and I see Matt is here. Matt, I know your boss couldn't make it today, but I know Matt has filmed us since early May, and Matt is responsible for those 5 little second snippets coming at me and taking things out of context. And so if I want to make sure that everyone welcomes Matt. And you know what, Matt, we've treated you well, even though we vehemently disagree on the topics. We were told, come to Leon County, come to Leon County. That's where Allen is. Well, now we're here, and I don't know. But anyway, nice wreath. So, Matt, please give my regards to your boss. A year ago, my family, I had fulfilled my commitments to the boards and the organizations that I have been a part of. In our family growing up in Panama City, my father made it very clear that you had to pay your civic rent. You have to give back to the community from which you live and which you make your living. So over the last 23 years, we have reached out and we have served our community. Not just in funeral service, which that is how my family has run our family business over the last 55 years, which is an amazing business in the fact that we serve families 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Saturdays, Sundays, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. Imagine what life would be like to never have a day off, to always be on call. Always. I grew up at a house where we had 6 phone lines ringing into our home. We had a home line, a house phone, and we had a children's line, and then we had 4 funeral home lines. My whole life, I listened to 6 phone lines ringing. And we always knew that those phone lines that were for the funeral home, that when those lines rang, that we had to hush. We had to be quiet. Because most likely, after hours, it's a family that needed our service. It was a bad, difficult time. Last year, I started contemplating this run. And I can't imagine a better profession to grow up in, where you stay in touch with your community of all walks of life. My family, we have served Democrats, Republicans, Independents, conservative, liberal, educated, dropout, professionals, laborers. And we have had the privilege of knowing our community. And we knew that last year something was amiss. And so we understand grief. We understand pain and suffering. Now, there is no grief as intense as the grief of losing a loved one. But I will tell you this. When you close a family business that's been in existence for generations, when you lose your home to foreclosure, when you lose your job and you join the record unemployment numbers in the state of Florida, you grieve. You hurt. And so, being sensitive to that hurt, we made a decision last year based on this question. Have we had enough? Have we had enough? And it wasn't just, the question was really in regards to Washington, D.C. You see, I believe that Washington, D.C. is broke. It is broke. And I believe that it has been broke under Republican administrations. It has been broke under Democratic administrations. It is broke. I've been in Washington, D.C. over the last year, a time or two, and I will tell you there is no recession in Washington, D.C. The restaurants, there's 30-minute waits. The mall parking lots are slam full. There is no recession. And I have a deeply held belief that Washington, D.C. should be a reflection of the heartland. It should be a reflection of Main Street around this country. And I will tell you that is not the case. My aggravation, the ear that I feel deep inside, it is non-discriminate. It is towards individuals, self-serving, that have worn the tag of both parties. I believe that we must fix Washington. But you can't fix Washington with broken people. You must fix Washington with people that understand the difference between right and wrong. and have the courage, having known that, knowing what right is, have the courage, the intestinal fortitude to stand up in the face of tremendous pressure and make the right decision for the people. And I believe no matter what party you're in, you want to be represented. You believe in freedom. You believe in a representative form of government, and that's what we have. You believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.